But let's start with the game last night. And in particular, let's concentrate on Mitch Trubisky and give him a bit of credit, because Mitch Trubisky has been one of the whipping boys of the season so far. There's no doubt about it. Bears fans have pinned all of the disappointment of the season on Trubisky's shoulders, there or thereabouts. Neutrals all around the NFL, observers watching it, have been saying they reached up for him. They thought he was going to be the franchise quarterback. He hasn't lived up to the hype. They might even need to move on from Mitch Trubisky next season. Mark, is he doing enough to arrest that slide based on the last couple of weeks? Do you see hope for the Trubisky faithful?
I think it's really difficult when you're not consistent. If he was consistently, mediocre or good, but it's such a roller coaster. Right. That's the problem at the moment. And when you're meant to be the face or the leader, and if you don't have that consistency play every week, it's very hard for people to kind of follow you and believe in you. And I think that's the problem at the moment. He blows hot and cold. And
has he got enough pieces around him? I mean, if you think about combined with injuries and I guess a lack, look at the strength and depth of this receiving unit, which is emerging now, of course. Allen Robinson, sneaky good, and I think underrated. Anthony Miller has come through as a real talent. But when you think Trey Burton has been out for, was out for the season, players like Tariq Cohen haven't lived up to their billing. I'm not sure he's got enough weapons around him.
But then again, you look at some of the other quarterbacks in the league who don't have those weapons, and they're still able to get it done. And you kind of feel sorry for him because there is so much hype. And when you're the quarterback and you're a young quarterback, everything's placed on your shoulders. And when you don't really have any, obviously on the defense, Khalil Mack, he's a leader. I don't think the Bears have that on offense when you think about it. And he's not mature enough, I don't think, to be that individual.
Do you need that? Because people talk about this a lot with quarterbacks, that outside of productivity, obviously, and capability on the field, they need to add another dimension, which is typically the kind of leadership people identify is strong, outspoken, completely in command. And there are exceptions to this rule. If you think about the type of leader Eli Manning was, right? You talk to, we've both spoken to Giants that played on those Super Bowl winning teams, and they said, look, Eli was a much more relaxed character, much less gregarious than some other contemporaries of his, but it doesn't mean he was any less commanding. We still bought into him. He just had a different demeanor. So do you think sometimes that can get a little bit carried away? Because Trubisky isn't a bad example because he's not exactly playing great, but Baker Mayfield is all about the moxie. He's all about, we're going to rah, 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 we're going to win this. There is a sense Trubisky's not that kind of character. It works against him. Yeah,
and I think you don't... And the hard thing is if you try and be something you're not, and there's different leadership types. There's no one way of being a leader of a team or organization, whatever it is. And it's trying to find his leadership style and then others buying into it. And maybe that's the thing that's taking time, is maybe he doesn't have his leadership style yet. But is he going to be given the time to actually put that in place and learn what that is to lead that team? Obviously last night was a big win. It puts them back in contention. It's a tough division, and they're going to really have to win the last couple of games.
The Packers are Lambeau coming up, so that
and I think the Packers, it's going to be really interesting. They've got those 2 back-to-back weekends against the Bears and Vikings. When they played the Niners the other week, they looked pretty. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers look so average. It was amazing to watch.
Hunter, hot take, the Packers missed the playoffs. That's why.
I'm not going to say that, but the thing is with Aaron Rodgers, if you compare the two of those, if you come down to that game, you know that he would deliver to win it, and that's the difference.
Hope you enjoyed the Nat Coombs Show presented by Paddy Power Fantasy. There's plenty more where that came from. Just click subscribe to ESPN UK and you won't miss a trick.